Hello. So I thought I'd speak a little bit following the previous video where, again, I have this background. So this is not from a small perspective, but this is from a universal perspective, Earth's perspective. Yeah. So, so the idea is from uh, the clear dot at the center of the Shri Chakra. Yeah. Like Shishu's gem. Yeah. Now, in the video that I mentioned about as, where there's a study made about where locating the Garden of Eden. Yeah. There they're mentioning about 4 rivers coming together at a point, nourishing the Garden of Eden, and then from there flowing onwards, forward. Yeah. And they are mentioned as Gihon, Pishon, yeah, Euphrates, Tigris, Euphrates. And how I place this is, I'm speaking this from my understanding of the matter, from my conscience. The video that I made is my conscience. There are further from there. It's in like one after the other. I've made a few. So I'm still working on getting it all together in one, logical manner so you can see the whole picture. But there is one that I've mentioned as Mapadani. There is one video that I've mentioned as Mapadani. If you consider that matter and energy, yeah, now let's just say the Garden of Eden as in a person, or okay, let me go a little further back. Okay, the Ark of the Covenant at Jerusalem, the shrine there is said to be made also having cedar wood panels, yeah, palms and flowers, such that, according to the video, when you go inside, when you go into the sanctum of it, it looks like you're actually outside. So that also alludes to my idea of after the Big Bang, the universe kind of went inside out. Like we come out of the mother's womb, and then our secondary respiration begins, our lung breathing begins. And the lung breathing takes over prominence over the primary respiration, which is what formed our human body to begin with. Yeah. So it's kind of like goes inside out. The secondary respiration becomes more important than the primary respiration. And it takes something to keep coming home to the primary respiration, such as the secondary respiration we don't go short of breath. Yeah. Which is when we then maintain the longevity, the bark that form, for example, the substance that forms from different effects from, say, gadgets and different people and the sun and the moon and all having their effect on our body, piezoelectric effect. And then what it takes to maintain health requires us to keep being in touch with the primary respiration, which is also where the blueprint of our bodily make is. Yeah. So there are four aspects, rivers, yeah, flows from where our body forms the human body. One is mama's material, papa's material, daiva, or let's say we call it as God, but we don't know where God is. Kind of like, is it we say sometimes inside, we sometimes say outside. So daiva, God, yeah, and also devil, God and the devil. When daiva becomes a little too firm and then goes into, like striated muscles, like the tiger finds its stripes. Yeah, that's when there is a certain, you don't want to become like a tiger, you don't want to pounce on others. Yeah, but having your stripes is important for you to have the voluntary muscles by which you can do things. Otherwise, you would just be one putty. Yeah, all soft and not having much substance by which to do things. Yeah. So like a body has voluntary muscles and involuntary muscles. Now, having said that, it's over time that our muscles form their substance. Yeah. So that's like the Daiva, that's the god and the devil. Daiva and the Devi and the devil. Yeah, both has Devi, and the devil it's pronounced with the D and ends with an L, like a human standing upright, like the fallen angel, or the idea of of Maleficent. Yeah. Um, who then meets Stefan, and Stefan cuts off her wings, and because of the iron, because he discovers that she has a problem with iron, and then so like the idea of the Krishna, who had a iron substance from his body that a hunter then used to kill Krishna. Yeah. So regularly digesting the iron content in our body is also how we ennoble. It's like the periodic table. So according to how we metabolize is the substance of our make, from the crude to whatever stories we come from, the sukha and dukkha, to over time from the crude becoming we ennoble over time. Yeah, that's how we become a humane being. And having a composition such that we can metabolize the the challenges. For example, the Andromeda galaxy is now in different stages of merging with the Milky Way galaxy. So the challenges offered by nature, naturally that's there. Circadian rhythms, sun, moon, different planets, cosmic effects, gadgets having their own effect on us, radiation effects. Yeah. So different things, environment has its own pollution. And then as we are metabolizing, making the elements purer, cleaner, that's when life begins to start, life is sustained. Yeah. We're not having, say, earth, water, fire, air, spirit, space, contamination issues, entanglements, and those kinds of things. So when we are regularly detangling, our stories are not becoming somebody else's stories. Yeah. And we listen to what's there, different media that's there, and then we form our stories based on the blueprint of our own make. Yeah. That's how we sustainably develop improve the why for being in existence. Yeah. So, which is why in my conscience, I've put 10 spheres of influence, 10 areas by which we can improve our why for doing things, how to do things better. Yeah. So when we say 4 rivers flow into the Garden of Eden, the conscience, the dot at the center of Shri Chakra, which is basically a body. Because after coming from the mother's womb is when we then begin to start forming our life. According to different information, we digest, say, food, or somebody gives us some advice, or we go to school and there we learn things. So as we digest the matter is how our story forms, the weave of our body makes, our reason for being in existence forms. So there is 4. Mama, or matriarchal concerns, and then patriarchal, yeah, and Daiva or Devi or the devil, yeah, God and devil, both needs improving. So we have mother's material also that needs improving, father's material also that needs improving, because there are all history and her story worth of lots of stories, yeah, traditionally. And then what has worked and what has not worked, yeah. And then there is Ni. Ni is, let's say N is like the neutral, yeah. So there is the Higgs boson, and then there's a Higgs boson. Okay, my idea of Higgs boson is Higgs is what increases the mass. So we have, oh, I am this, yeah. And then until you meet something that's better, and then you go, puss, oh, yeah, and then you come more to size. But your self-esteem, yeah, and the weight that the gravitas of the matter that you're speaking about could have you go heavy, yeah, also significant, and then, oh, me, yeah. And then you also need something that will have you come to ground zero. Otherwise, you can't handle the, vagaries from life, and then you meet something that is better than you, and then you have ego concerns, your me versus you, inferiority complex, superiority complex, and all that stuff. So there's a pigs. So when we say neutral, there is that which catabolizes the matter or anabolizes, build up. Oh, the build up, significant. And then there's also the catabolism to bring it down to have it be just sufficient. The neutral is more like, I call it as metabolism. Yeah. So we are maintaining the sufficient neutral. And I have an idea of absolute, no buy, reduce, reuse, recycle, no waste, absolute. So we're maintaining the absolute ground zero. Yeah. So we're not going, oh, negative, no, this is just me, inferiority complex is not sufficient. Or you build up and then you have a superiority complex where you're more than ground zero. Yeah. So what does it take for that neutral in the center, ground zero? So you're grounded. So life doesn't have to ground you. Yeah. And then you don't go to hell, heaven, hell, and those up, down, up, down. So what does it take to be in see the line where the sky meets the sea on that surface tension? Yeah. Maintaining that. Yeah. So your conscience is clear, and the God or the devil is not taking you, up, down, and then you're going right, left, right, left. Yeah. Which is right. So between heaven and hell, we could go into quite a quandary. Yeah. So 4. Yeah. Okay. 4. Since our body formed Garden of Eden, we already have a body that's human. Yay. Yeah. So we have an energy by which to be in business of living, Garden of Eden. And so we are formed by these 4. And then what does it take from here to move forward by the force? May the force continue to be with you. So we are continuing to maintain that ground level 0x. Ground X, yeah, on point. And our wise, we are wisening, getting better, wisening by improving the reason for being in existence and what we are doing, why we are related with all of them, what values are we bringing forth. So my conscience has those 10 spheres, yeah. So I hope this brings a little more perspective on where the Garden of Eden is, yeah. So, okay, so in terms of the 4 rivers, there is Gihon, which I think is like Garapati or the Ganga in one way, because the body is also the substance from where we have life. The garden has, so we have a skin in the matter of life. Yeah. So Gihon in that sense. And Pishon is like, that's in Gihon is like the mother or the matter, nurturing matter. Yeah. Body. Gandha or Gandhaki or the wood of the matter. Yeah. Pishon is like the um, substance forming peeves. Yeah. You could have peeves. And now what I mean by peeves is you have constant complaint about this works and doesn't work. And you have lots of, you judge people based on, this works. So you make a lot of noises, basically. Fathers tend to be a little authoritative because they have a concern on, disciplining and all of that stuff. So that's one way to look at it. And the gold also lies from improving the content of our matter. Yeah. So you could say Gihon or Pishon both have their own wealth. Yeah. When you're working with the substance of the matter. Yeah. So in that sense, Pishon. Yeah. And then there is Tigris, like the tiger, like the Deva and the Devi and the devil. Yeah. Voluntary muscles, the tiger's stripes. As we move through life is where we find our stripes, what better works, what doesn't work, and then this is better works. If you're going to continue doing this, then it works. If you're going to deviate from the path, then you could get into trouble. Yeah. And then not be an animal, but to become a human. So Tigris, Euphrates is like eukaryotes. Yeah. So for us to be prokaryote, otherwise we go into stress mode. The eustress and distress. Yeah. The eustress could be we are having oh yay, yeah, all going well. And then distress from pressure from the god, Devi or the devil. Yeah. Which is the matter of the substance of our make. So you could say God. Yeah. But we also have mother, father, the masculine and feminine, the male and female dynasty. Animals, dogs, plants, what have you. There is a masculine and feminine aspect. In that sense, there's a male and female dynasty that forms nature and nurture. And then there is God. Yeah. Inside us, outside us. Could be Devi or could be the devil, yeah, God or devil. And that also could put a pressure on us such that we are having a difficulty in growing up, too much of opinions and then lots of noise and then which way to go, which is the right thing. So we could get eukaryotic, or you could, yeah, or you could go into eustress or distress. So what does it take for us to be pro-life, profitable, protein, yeah, protein, such that we can over time with the mother material, nurture, nature, God and devil, all of this stuff. We can script our life, yeah, in such a way that the dash of the T, like a tree, supports many our contemporaries, our people who are living with us and future generations. They're all getting better, including us. We are getting better. People around us are getting better. Future generations are getting better. Yeah. Future generations are going to get better. Yeah. So the weaves keep getting better. And then T, E, the energy by which we are functioning, protein, when we say pro, and then T, and then E as the energy by which we are functioning, gets better, humaner. I, the person, little I with a dot on top, like a human body, like a child of life, not just, oh, I. Yeah. So improving the content quality of the person, the little me. Yeah. And then N, the practitioner neutral. Yeah. The ground zero. So our ground zero gets better. So that's how we get profitable for life. Otherwise, we could go into eustress or distress and then health concerns. Your WHO list of diseases is talking about how much of discomfort is there in different quadrants. Yeah. So the quadrant could be the mother material or the father material, male or female material, or the God and devil material, or in our own eukaryote or prokaryote material. Yeah. So stress or distress. So I hope this gives you food enough for thought, and then, solutions from where we can work together. Andromeda galaxies in different stages of merger with the Milky Way galaxy. So we got a lot of material to get together and then work on reducing WHO's list of diseases, because we got new material coming. Yeah. So we got to digest all of that. It's called Samudra Manthan, spiral ring galaxy. Milky Way galaxy has been going round and round since some time. So let's get our stories right so that we are ready for new material. So new food, yeah, new scripts, and things get better. Yeah. Time to enliven life in the multiverse. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this has been of value to you. Good day.